So now our primed wall is completely cured. We've done a light sanding and we're ready to proceed with the finish coat. And the first step of the finish coat, just like in the priming coat, would be to cut in. So I'm going to show you the proper techniques to holding the brush and cutting in, and we're going to cut into this white piece of trim here. So I filled up my paint pot about a quarter of the way, because that's essentially all the paint I'm going to need to cut in the entire room. I probably won't even need that much. And that also allows me to set my brush in the pot where the paint would not rise up halfway, or even worse, that would just ultimately create a mess. So this is the technique that I use to hold my pot. And this is a bit of an advanced technique. It lets me work with speed and also keeps the handle out of my way, and it won't obstruct my brush from getting excess paint. If you don't feel comfortable this way, it's certainly fine to hold it by the handle. And I'm not going to start right close to the trim. I'm going to start about an inch outside. That way I'm going to work in. So by the time I'm worked into the trim, I have the exact amount of paint. Now I'm going to go back and smooth out my line. About a 2-inch, 2.5-inch depth of paint is perfect for this application. Now the way I hold the brush is I hold it with a light grip, and I probably essentially hold it with 3 fingers. Middle finger guiding, index finger guiding, with a light grip, and with a bit of confidence, I'm successful in cutting a smooth line. I'm working in conjunction with my angle. So I'm not flat, because if I were flat, I'd be working essentially with the tip. I'm working in conjunction with the angle. And then instead of smoothing out with the high tip, I do my final smooth with the short side against the trim. Now, we're showing this in lieu of masking because it's really quite unnecessary. And I really don't want anyone to get upset the first few times if we do get a little paint on the trim like I'm doing here. But I'm not fretting. I'm going to wrap my 501 with a rag. It could be a little bit damp, certainly not running with water. And I'm going to run right down the surface, and I wipe off the excess that I got on the trim. If there's still a little residual paint, not a problem at all. I rotate my rag to a clean surface, and I hit it again. Now it's important to mention, when working with the latest acrylic paints, these paints do set up pretty quickly. And you don't want to keep going over and over perfecting this. You want to get your techniques down the first time and let it set.